Hiya, it's your friend SB here. In today's video I want to look at one skill in particular, Wall Run. There's a lot of characters with low mobility options, so for them Wall Run is a particularly good option. I wanted to make a build that uses Wall Run, and as a Denki main that does not have a proper Denki build yet, I decided to make one. But what I didn't consider is how amazing Wall Run feels for combat. Depending on the map, there can be walls everywhere, allowing for some really sick movement. Unfortunately, Wall Run mechanics can be a bit unpredictable. The controls feel a bit wonky at times, and not every wall is considered climbable. As an example, here on Chaos City, there are all of these pillars. What do you think? Can you climb or wall run on these pillars? Have a guess. Well, here's what happens. Nope, can't climb this. Can't climb this one either. And you cannot climb this pillar either. Or can you? This pillar actually is climbable, but only on one side. And I think the reason for that is because there's an opening at the top. I think they follow this rule for most cases, but it's not terribly consistent. I assume the main reason they do this is to prevent clipping issues. That's probably why some surfaces are not climbable, but only at the top. Although, once again, this is not consistent with all walls, like this one here, where you can climb upwards without being thrown off. Okay, let's get into some games. Okay, we're going into some gameplay. Now, the gameplay is structured a little bit differently this time, and that is because getting good clips is hard to find, for one thing, and two, I find that this format actually works a bit better. So I'm just going to be going over various instances where Wall Run is actually used. So, you know, it's still a bit more relevant to the video rather than just being, you know, a game or two. And just because it is very difficult to actually find good games, because that's what it's like at expert rank. It's just a lot of top tiers and pre-mades. It's difficult. So there's lots of ways we can use Wall Run, which is to reposition yourself, it is to get away from potential danger, and one of my favorite things is using it to reposition yourself in the middle of a fight, using little opportunities to keep yourself safe, to kite your opponent. And we're going to see some of that in just a moment. So I take out this Deku here, who got a little bit too close. I hit him with the big meaty combo. And here comes the scariest tech derby you'll ever see. And I'm using the speed card. I don't need it for the Wall Run, obviously, because it's now part of my passive moveset. But in this situation, I did have it, so even if I didn't have a Wall Run, I can still make use of it in this situation. And also, the movement speed is very useful to have. I would ideally be going more like yellow card in this situation, or green card potentially. Tankiness is very good. I do make a mistake here of trying to pressure the tech derby a bit too much. That beta was not going anywhere. I was kind of expecting to go a bit closer. So I took a lot more damage than I should have. I assume this is like a sisterly revenge assault build on this derby here, where he's like focusing on pure tankiness. But I get really low. He's right in melee range and he pops the plus chaos, which is good for me because he's no longer pressuring me. If he got a melee off, I would have been dead. So I immediately took the opportunity to go straight to the nearby wall, so I could climb up the wall. And then I was able to back around. My team took out the other person that was a threat to us, and then we were able to go in for the kill here. A very cool clutch situation, because we had just come off a res at that point, so we did not have the levels at all. Here in this situation, but there's a small building where Overhaul is camping it, and I'm constantly using the outer walls to reposition myself, going for a little bit of a poke, and being very unpredictable with my movement. Here's Derby, an absolute pleb that needs to use speed cards to get around. I get hit by the cage, whoops. And I'm able to completely cut off the Overhaul just by jumping onto the wall and using the extra momentum I get to go into the air. You should stay in your building, Overhaul! It's too dangerous for you out here, but it's not dangerous for you in there, which is why I should not have chased. Definitely do not approach an overhaul in Plus Chaos because he is actually extremely strong. Especially in that situation. Okay, pay very close attention to the Aizawa's alpha here. Dodge. Dodge. I'm using the wall run to predict his movement. To predict his action and then dodging preemptively. Little things like that. The movement you can do. I really like how wall running works. Since they changed it a while ago. Before it was like if you did some spinnies after a wall jump, then you gain some height. And here we have Kirishima, who I'm trying to pressure. Instead of going straight inside of the building, I go around the building. And I see him over here in this building trying to go for a heal. I get a jump on him there, use the beta through the wall. And then I try to cut him off. He decides to stay inside, and I get the Zapper. So repositioning, not just to keep yourself safe or various other things, it's also about catching people off guard. And I played, what I really like about Denki, because I do main Denki, is that he has a lot of like trapper potential. People aren't too fond of him because he has like a big touch of death sort of thing. You hit a stun and you win the game. Especially true against Rapids. I do enjoy playing against Rapid Togas because I can just manage to get a nice stun off and then I win basically off of one hit. Sometimes at level 1. But what I especially like is about using like live wires. That's part of one of my favorite parts of this kit. So I was able to get away from the Strike Derby, who was very on my tail, and I used the wall run to try and maneuver around him. And this is after that I was able to go back and I was able to catch his Denki off guard. I tried to go through the wall, use my beta through the wall there. The Twice is not letting me have it, like I'm really trying to go for it. He gave me enough height, I just kind of jumped over the wall there. I'm like, okay, well that's clearly not happening, guess I'll run. See ya. And they're really chasing me after me. But I'm able to kite. I get a down off as well, why not? While I'm at it. Because that gave me a bit of time to escape, because they need to pick up this dude. Here's a situation where I'm using wall run to chase rather than to run away. So I get down onto the overhaul and the Bakugo has gone over the wall. So I'm immediately going over the wall. I think I did have a speed card there, but I used it and ran out. You thought you could escape? Ha ha ha. And I put him into the wire trap. Hi Coda. Sorry Coda, can't do this right now. We've got to fight to win. One of the very unfortunate times I have to give up on the Kota. I'm like, really the only reason I'd go for Kota in that situation is for the weekly experience. Just for the missions. It doesn't contribute anything to the fight. But I was like, I can't afford to do it. I would rather win this game. I'm trying to escape. I go over the wall just to reposition myself, give myself a better advantage. And I go, oh look, it's a Deku here. I'm going to chase this guy. I find that Full Bullet is one of Denki's worst matchups because he just wins at long range. He wins at short range because he just hits Gamma and suddenly there's a big rock in your face. And sometimes you get caught in the rock and it's like, why was this programmed in this way? Why can you get stuck in the rock? I'm able to... I would just die in that situation. So you can't win long range, can't win short range because a very cool character. But you can always win if you catch someone off guard, which is one of the things Denki excels at. He could probably use a few nerfs. Like, I would probably reduce his burst damage on his alpha after a stun, just so you can't always 0 to death people. I think beta should probably scale a lot better, because that could be your like, just like drop everything move. And I wouldn't mind dropping him to like 300 health as well. But there's so many more balance issues that in the game that I just do not care to balance him right now. So there's a nice bus in the middle of this combat area that I can easily use to maneuver around and get the jump. Toga tries to jump on top of me, proper beta. The last hit of the beta does a knockback. which is very useful as a quick get off me move. And a second enemy Denki has arrived. Moving away, using the wall run to get some distance. And then re-engage the fight later on. It's such a really good skill to have. And there's a lot of options we could use. Like, the revenge support doesn't really synergize. That's just like a generally good skill. Because, like, wall run doesn't necessarily synergize with things. There's a question, there's an argument for like the Nejire spiraling jump. I don't know Nejire, I haven't tried it. I don't know if that would be a good interaction. It's something to consider for sure, but I can't really trial it right now. But if I wasn't running revenge support, watch the snipe. Ooh! If I wasn't running revenge support in a situation, I might consider going for the Ibarra skill that I can't remember the name of, but it's the box opening speed. That is also potentially good. I think people underestimate that skill quite heavily as a start of round thing, but a lot of the time there are boxes that are just being left out. Look at the minimap right now. There is a box that is still in the game. At any point, let's say there's more people in the game, and I need to go for like a res card or something because my team died, I just run over there and grab it. Easy enough. And especially having more mobility makes it easy. Getting lots of levels on Denki is very nice. But that is the end of this video now. Nice and short and sweet, to the point. Very happy. So, if you enjoyed this video, of course, please do subscribe to the channel for more content, which will come whenever I have the time and I feel like it. Motivation be like that. ADHD moment. I probably won't upload until after the Tech Denki patch, and that means also recording new clips and such. You know how it is. You never know what kind of balance changes will immediately make the video feel irrelevant. But as all, Discord community is my personal Discord if you want to stay up to date with videos. And I'll see you in another one in the future. Okay, bye-bye!